Hi, everybody. Welcome to meditation. I'm sorry, my computer was just dinging, and I hope that doesn't happen during our meditation. But welcome to Meditation Group. I'm Magali Pesha. We're the Coaching Institute. If you're new to us, I know many of you are students. So welcome. Jeremy and Mark should be here, if not already, very shortly. And Jeremy and Mark, if you can write to me in Zoom, I'd really appreciate it because my computer is dinging with every text message, my sound thing is on, unfortunately. So also, can we all open our chat and just say good morning and see where everybody's at today? I'm going to be sharing us on Facebook as you guys share with each other for a minute. I wish I could do the Facebook buttons while I am talking, but it's harder than one you would think, at least for me. And for some reason, again, it's not working to share on Facebook. So I apologize if you're seeing this later on Facebook and I wasn't able to share it live, but not working on my little computer for some reason. So today, and I'm so glad to see where everybody's at. I see Santa Cruz, Colorado Springs, bonjour. I don't know where you are, France maybe, the Czech Republic, Ireland. Welcome, welcome. And my hope for today is that as we meditate with the elements, and I'll talk a little bit about what the 5 elements are and how they can help us, we just invite for today whatever those elements can give us. So in both Ayurveda and in Buddhism, and I think in other traditions too, the elements are not only what makes up the world, fire, earth, air, water, space, but they're also in us. So if we have like heartburn, that would be fire in our bodies. If we have impatience, anger, frustrations, those would be fiery emotions. Also, fiery emotions are joy, enthusiasm, clarity, directedness, creativity. So fire, like everything in life, has its balanced state, its healing elements, and the signs that it's out of balance. So let's look at water for a moment. And this is just, don't worry, you don't have to remember any of this. The meditation is here to serve without this information. But I find it helpful to bring the mind in at the beginning and let our mind be the beautiful tool it is. So water, think about water for a moment. Let yourself think of what water could mean. And I'm going to be sharing slides with you guys. Let me go ahead and do that. It's so funny when you change computers and everything is different. Okay. So when water is in balance, there can be a real sense of comfort and being really good with who we are, with what we're doing. That might be reflected in where we're living, what our relationship is like, what our habits are like. It's a sense of ease. Now, if water is out of balance, it's kind of in a state of not being in harmony within us. It can feel like nothing is quite right. I know in my own life, when water has been quite out of balance, I move a lot. I change homes. I don't feel great about what I'm doing professionally. I crave change when water is not in harmony. And there's nothing wrong with craving change, but I think there is a difference between kind of being blocked from seeing what is good in one's life and what feels right. And when water is out of balance, that block can kind of be there, like too much water, maybe. Earth element. So when earth element is really, really in a balanced state in us, we feel grounded, stable, steady. Often in meditation, we use the root chakra the energy center at the very base of your sits bones, to bring that grounded sense of being and safety and certainty. So with a nice earth element in balance, we will feel very secure, centered, stable, right? And when it's out of balance, we might feel stuck. We might feel so stable we can't move. We can't see other perspectives. We're like a muddy lake that has no clarity, is one metaphor that comes when earth is out of balance, like water has filled with dirt and it's now muddy. It's hard to see in. And I find that when coaching clients come and they have an earth imbalance, often a partner in their life or a family member is saying, change, please. Can we do this differently? Can we evolve together? And the person with a lot of earth just is struggling with flexibility, struggling with the idea that their solidness, that their certainty needs more variety, needs more movement. And we'll just talk about a couple more elements here. So air element. And we're going to actually start the meditation with air element. So air element, as you can imagine, it's about movement. It's about the ability to evolve, to have interest, to make changes, to be fascinated. The word wonder, that sense of, the excitement of a windy day, the way things are stirred up, it can be felt like ideas with movement, interests. So that's, air element in a healthy form. Now you can imagine when it gets out of balance, it's like an ungrounding hurricane or tornado that lifts you up off the ground. You become have you ever seen in the US, we have these, I think they're tire shops that have these blown up figures of men that blow in the wind and they're like, ooh, like that. That's like air element out of balance. We have no ground. We're moving so much. Our mind, our emotions, our ideas are moving so fast, we cannot complete anything. So that would be air out of balance. So I'm wondering right now, have any of you noticed water, earth, air being out of balance at all? And sometimes we notice, oh yeah, that's me. I'm very grounded, or I'm very interested in the world, or I am very comfortable with myself. Noticing these elements in balance is just equally important. Now we can have many things in balance, many things out of balance, and we can call them all into harmony with ourselves. So this meditation is, some might want to think of each element in nature. Some might want to think of it as a goddess that is helping us. Some might think of it as emotions. So we're going to work with it. I'm going to offer a variety of suggestions, and I want you to really honor what works for you. But let's not leave out fire and space. So we started out talking a little bit about fire. I gave them the physical example of heartburn, people who get a lot of itises like tonsillitis, strep throat. I have fire physically as a strong element in me. So as a child, I was always getting inflammatory conditions. And so that would be a physical sort of fire in the body. So we can get a sense of that emotionally too: anger, irritation, frustration. And what I love about the elements is how beautiful their differences, like with one element, what healing, what wonder they are in balance. So when fire is in balance, we have caring, love, compassion. We have excitement. It's like the opposite of depression. We have that momentum to do things, to accomplish, to take action, to be active in the world, to be engaged. So fire is a beautiful force in us as well. You know, anyone making a difference in their own life, in others' lives, they need fire. They need that fuel of action taking. And then space is, you can think of space as the element in which all other elements are held and operating within. So space is critical. And space gives us openness. It gives us expansion. It's an element, the way I feel about it anyways, emotionally, is it's an element of opportunity. And emotionally, that opportunity brings in that comfort with oneself, with the air element of being able to change in a healthy way, with all the elements sort of in a dance together within space. So I like to think of Earth, you know, Earth with, you can imagine a globe right now with the water of Earth, the ground of Earth, the mountains, the dirt of Earth, the fires that happen on Earth, the sun shining on the planet, and all of that held in space. And so this is the way, a really lovely way to connect with space. And when you do that, there's just a vastness. As soon as you're imagining Earth as a you know, globe held in space, doesn't that kind of change your perspective? Suddenly you're much bigger. Your energy is a little more spread, I'm hoping. So let's now just jump into the meditation. Enough talking. But feel free, before we jump in, to write any notes for yourself if there's a particular element. I just want you to be aware. I'm not really even sure how exactly this meditation is going to go today. It's always a little different. But if there's a particular element that you want to call to right now, or a way you want to relate to the elements for yourself today, set that intention. And an intention is just a statement we say on the inside, you know, a kind of a calling in of that element or of the elements in harmony, or a wish to learn more about the elements inside of you or about the natural world, whatever it is, or emotions. So that time of setting intention is really important. And find a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you today. A lot of talking. That's what I'm feeling in my system. So just check out for a moment what you're feeling right now and take some nice even breaths. And as you exhale, let your exhale be extra long, and just allowing that exhale to release any tension. You might want to sigh as you exhale. And just let the inhale come naturally. And then again, let that exhale just allow everything from the day, from the world, just for this half hour, just to release. And let's begin by just honoring earth element within our system, connecting to the ground below, whether that's the surface of your chair, under your legs, or you're lying down or standing up. As you breathe, bringing your attention to earth. And just inviting this grounded stability, connection with the ground. You might think of a mountain, a boulder, the roots of a tree. And taking nice, steady breaths, noticing your natural breath. Follow your breath into the body, down all the way to the lower belly as you inhale deeply. And then follow your breath out as you exhale. And just noticing that relationship between breath and grounded stability of earth. Allowing any parts of nature to connect with you right now that are earthy, stabilizing, grounding. It could be a beautiful place you've visited where you feel very close to the grass or the sand, a path you've walked on. And just imagine that feel of walking as your feet connect to the earth. Or maybe you've gone climbing, or you've experienced what it's like to lie down on sand or dirt or grass. And just feeling right now that connection with earth. You might imagine earth as a wonderful goddess that gently puts hands on your back and says, "You've got this. I'm here to ground and support you." You can feel the stability, the centeredness, the loyalty, the nurturing, the calm of earth, and just allowing the gifts of earth element to come to you however they come. It could be in sounds and images, smells, taste, a knowing of this part of you that is earth element, this part of you that is consistent. It might be a habit you do every day, like brushing your teeth, meditating, taking a walk, having a tea or water or coffee, or some other ritual you do every day that gives your life harmony and stability. So going back to yesterday and just remembering moments of stability, even just one moment of stability. And letting a smile come to your face. Might be a little smile, and then letting that smile spread through your body. What's it like to allow your heart to smile? What's it like to allow your back to smile? How is it to have your legs, your feet smile? And with this gentle joy or ease or calm of earth and the way a smile plays through your system, we'll move into air element. So just gently taking your hands and letting them glide over your legs. Lift your hands about 1 inch above your legs and just move them gently, feeling that air between hand and leg. You might make little pulsing motions, or you might want to move your hands in the space above your legs, and then lifting your hands up, letting them move through space. And just allowing your breath to follow in harmony with the movement of your hands. Feeling that expansion of air. Remembering to exhale and allow anything you wish to let go of to just come through your exhale. Inviting all of your senses to be very open to the air element. And you might think of a bird flying through the air, or a gentle breeze as it waves the trees. And you can, if it feels comfortable, let your hands move with your memory or with the thoughts, the feelings of air element, flexibility, evolution, healthy change. Just like leaves will blow gently from a tree as it moves into fall or winter. And just as the gentle breeze will caress the tree in spring as new blossoms are growing, and the warm wind of summer might bring the scent of a beautiful garden, allowing that quality of air to just be here in waves of healing, giving, freeing, a kind of willingness for adventure, an allowing of different perspectives and ideas. Wind might be like a dance, and just let any of your senses give you information about air element, taking your time to receive the gifts of air element as you breathe. And in the expansion of air element, in the beautiful changeability of air element, you may want to allow yourself to smile and invite that smile through your body, through your energy, through your subtle body. It might be just the thought of the space around your body. Just breathing with this smile, allowing air to be a helper, a giver, and you're able to receive the beautiful qualities of air element, movement, flexibility, idea flow, freedom, allowing all the different parts of yourself and others to be safe, accepted. And let the smile move through and around you like a gentle breeze. And just imagining as wind plays with water, you might think of a beautiful lake, the ocean, a waterfall, a pool, a glass of water, a pond, a river, a creek. And just invite wind to connect with water And when you're comfortable, imagine what it's like to be water, to be that ease, that velvety softness of water. Invite very healing knowing of water, whether you like to just put your feet in water or drink water or float on water or swim in water or look at water. Invite water as a reflection, the way you can see your face in a still lake, the way you can see the sky or a tree reflected in the water. Invite water element to bring you comfort, ease, tranquility, a very steady, calm knowing that you are just right the way you are. How does that show you? That feeling of right now, right this minute, I can accept myself, maybe just a little more than I accepted myself an hour ago. And just connecting with that deep acceptance, that kind of merging with the element of water. It might feel like a lovely warmth or coolness that expands and relaxes. It might feel refreshing or like a message of knowing that you are you, and you are here for a very special reason. And you can give yourself this reassurance, this knowing, just through breathing, through smiling. And allowing water, perhaps a place where you enjoy water, or perhaps a goddess of the water element to come and give you healing gifts. Gifts that bring comfort and ease. This could be in your thoughts, in your feelings, in your body, and just inviting that sense of comfort and ease. Like a gentle rolling wave, a tide that goes in and goes out. Comfort and ease can be a very steady heartbeat. And we'll transition to fire element now, bringing a smile to your face, to your mouth, feeling that gentle smile in the heart space and connecting. You may want to put a hand on your heart, connecting to your own heart, to the rhythmic beating of your heart, to your energy heart, the space in your back body, your front body, your sides, all around the chest, inviting the warmth of caring, the warmth of love, the warmth of gratitude, the warmth of appreciation. Fire element gives us the energy to care, the energy to act, to communicate, to give, and also to receive. So just connecting now with the element of fire through either the sun's shining, warming rays, the idea of a lovely fire, maybe in the darkness that you sit by and it gives your body warmth, or perhaps a warm cup of tea, noticing the feel of that hot beverage as it warms the body, inviting this healthy warmth of connection, inspiration, creativity. And as you breathe, notice if there's a color or a texture or a sound or a way that you uniquely connect with fire element, inviting the healing benefits of fire, the inspiration, the action taking, the motivation. Invite these gifts through your head, through your neck, through your shoulders, through your heart, through your back, through your belly, through your hips, through your legs, your knees, your shins, your feet. Invite the gifts, the energy of fire to wake you up, to move you. And maybe something comes to you of your gifts, your purpose, what you enjoy. And just invite this, invite joy, invite the enjoyment of life. How does that show in you right now? It could be a pattern of energy. It could be the face of someone you love. It could be a force in you that wishes to help others or make change real, help create peace in the world, create art, communicate, invite healthy fire to flow and inspire every cell of your body. And let a smile spread from your face, through your fingertips, through your toes, feeling the tingly inspiration of fire in the whole body, inviting the goddess of the element of fire to bless you and give you warm, caring motivation and action towards something that you care deeply about. And this might be self-care. And let's just bring a noticing of the 4 elements that we've worked with so far: the grounding earth, the comfort and ease of water, the flexibility and movement of air, the caring inspiration and action of fire. And imagine all 4 elements in you and also all around you on earth. And just imagine if you were holding earth like a ball in your hands, feeling the places on earth where there's flowing waters, grounding mountains and valleys, how the wind plays through the trees and the waves, feeling the warmth of the sun on the whole planet. And now inviting yourself to be the space that holds the earth, feeling into the spacious openness of the atmosphere, as though you yourself can be as open, as wide as the sky and beyond the sky, the space that holds earth and holds you and holds all living creatures and all the elements. Breathe and just imagine space element. Allowing your breath to fill you with a color, with a sound, with a gift of space, open, expanding, evolving, growing. Invite the element of space as a goddess that comes near you or by you, or who you might be right now, the goddess of space. Men can be goddesses too. And you can just invite that sense of spacious clarity, spacious growth, spacious acceptance, room for all the elements, room for all the parts of oneself, space for all emotions. And bringing a smile to your face and letting the smile spread into your heart, feeling the smile in your belly. You may want to put your hands on your lower stomach as you just focus on your breath now, thanking space, thanking fire, thanking air, thanking water, and thanking earth. If anything showed up for you or right now shows up as wanting to be released, this could be a lack of feeling grounded or secure. As you exhale, just imagine the universe helping you release and recycle any type of instability or insecurity, anything that might have shown itself as being out of balance in earth element. With your exhale, invite this letting go, recycling by the universe. And if there's anything that showed up or shows up now of water element being out of balance, this could be feeling overly comfortable. This could be feeling stuck as earth element or water element. This could mean feeling a lack of ease, a lack of comfort, a need for change just to stir things up, a kind of boredom that might be with too much water element. Breathe and release. Release with a word or an image, with the intention. As you exhale, to allow the universe to recycle what is no longer needed by your system. It can help sometimes to allow the hands to help with this recycling, letting go, unwinding, releasing, relaxing. If any nausea or anything, gets stirred up, put a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly. Feel the grounded comfort quality of earth. And just breathe into your feet. And now just noticing if there's any additional movement of air that might be ungrounding, that wants to be released and recycled, any kind of overthinking, too many projects, no completion. Those are all qualities of too much air element out of balance, confusion, a kind of spaciness. This can be air or space element out of balance. exhale that. Anything you notice from your life, exhale it. Allow the universe to recycle it, release it. Release any confusion, procrastination, overthinking. Just letting it go and know that it will become useful energy in some other form. Bringing your attention to your feet, feeling their grounded support like a strong tree whose roots go into the earth. And then invite a releasing of any part of fire element that shows up for you as being in excess. This could be frustration, anger, irritability, inflammation, intensity, overwork, pushing others, angry thoughts, angry words, fear that comes up as anger, and just release it with your breath. Be very kind to yourself. You are human. Fire is part of you, and you can exhale that now and then just invite with your intention, invite the universe to take that excess fire element that shows up in any way that's unhelpful to you and release it. Allow it to be energy that's recycled into the good, into all of the healthy fire that the world needs, that you need. And go back to your feet, feeling that grounded stability of earth, feeling the healthy fire in your belly that allows you to digest ideas and food and relationships, emotions, feeling again the healthy nature of air that allows you to make changes and movement, feeling the healing of love and caring and compassion in your heart, healthy fire that loves and inspires and acts. And noticing how all of this, all of the elements are held in the open acceptance, the loving arms of space element. You might imagine a baby looking up into its mother's eyes and the connection between mother and child, giving a warm, kind acceptance and just feeling that connection. You might want to imagine an animal instead of a human, but just feeling for a moment that connection of wonder and openness before the mind even creates an identity. There is this connection, and we can experience this connection right now with the elements, with the universe. And let's just take 30 seconds in silence to appreciate connection. Allowing all the parts of your body to feel connection. Allowing the elements to be in a divine connection with each other, with you, with the world, with the natural world, with other humans. And sending your wishes for connection out into the world to all living beings. You might have a wish like, may all animals, may all plants, may all insects, may all humans find connection of some kind that is meaningful. And maybe that's a connection with the earth. And when you're ready, slowly taking your time to open your eyes. If you have some water that you'd like to sip, it can help sometimes just to notice colors and shapes in your room, on the screen. You might want to go back to your intention if you wrote it down and kind of notice, how did your intention play out in that meditation? I'd love it if you share in the chat. I love to hear the messages, to read, you know, even just what comes to you. Like it can come like little glimpses of a dream, you know, like I felt a hummingbird's wings when I was with air element, or I noticed that I have a lot of fire in my throat. Whatever it is, just it's good to, when we take little notes for ourselves after meditation, it's like keeping a dream journal. We become more and more aware of what's happening, and that's really developing that witness mind in the meditation. Just like we can develop a greater sense of lucidity in dream time, we can also do that in our meditation. And so then it can be healing and giving us insights at the same time while we meditate. Beautiful, beautiful shares. Feeling too much air, noticing an archetype for each element. Comfort of air when I raise them off my lap. Great. Oh, I gathered my inner children and held them close. So beautiful. That's a beautiful share. Oh, I'm so glad, Elizabeth, that you're feeling centered and balanced. My feet are happy. I love that. My throat was really dry. I never experienced that in meditation. Interesting. Yeah. That could be, you know, just kind of notice if that's a message from one of the elements. Dryness. Like once I was doing a meditation with the element of water, and the only thing that I kept experiencing was one drop at a time, just one drop of water at a time. And my teacher at the time suggested I just really give that some kind of room in myself. What could that mean? One drop of water at the time. What could dryness mean? So, you know, it's interesting sometimes these things that come to us, how can we kind of allow that again, maybe in another meditation, drink some water, but then meditate with dryness. What does it teach you? Or maybe it was just that your throat was dry. There's always that possibility too. I felt my soul being lifted as though my body wanted to levitate. Well, you know, whenever that happens in meditation, it is said in many traditions that that's a very good sign. It could be a lot of beautiful space and air. It could also be that with a deep presence, there comes a kind of levitation in a sense, you know, not that you're going to actually levitate, but a feeling like that of lightness and expansion that comes with a very present experience. Yeah, and getting quite cold when I meditate. There's a reason why you often see meditators with lots of blankets and socks on. When we get very still, sometimes our bodies get cold or hot. So it's a good idea to wear layers, to allow yourself to grab a blanket or to take off a layer. You know, these are natural phenomena. And would anyone like to share here in Zoom? Like raise your hand, or if you have a question about this one. So, you know, I love that share, Cynthia. I feel so happy with air, but know that I need to be more grounded. It's hard because I like to fly. So I find that, me too. And I think many of us have that experience. And I think it's really like, it's really healthy to enjoy every element. I think one way to approach kind of getting to know the elements better is to spend a day on air, for example, all the healthy qualities of air, but also notice when air is becoming too much for your system. You know, if you get nauseous or confused or overstimulated, too many thoughts, that would be air going out of balance. But you can spend time with also the healthy expansion of air. And I did a course where I spent a week with each element. And so even going outside to spend time with that element. And I have to say, Calera, what beautiful children. So joy, brings me great joy to see them here. Hello, guys. Guys and gals. Yeah, and it's great when we're reminded what we need more of, but it's also just good to recognize that these elements, they're in everything. They're all within us. Just some of us tend to have gotten into a habit sometimes, or our physical nature has more of one or the other. Okay, no hands are up. Oh, great, there's a hand. Sue, hi. Hi, Sue. I'm asking you to unmute. You don't have to put your video on if you don't want to. Not hearing you yet, Sue. Jeremy, it might be that I'm not host and someone else. There we go, Sue.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I was in my bed.
Oh, no, we're all good. How are you?
Coming out now. I'm fine, thank you. I have a question. Thank you for calling me.
Sure.
I have a question. I wrote it into the chat that that you were talking about the air and too many projects.
Yeah.
At that moment, I felt like so the interesting thing is that I have been feeling these last days since my last coaching session we're talking about birds, that I'm getting more and more into the present and grounded. And with this particular meditation, it said, I just had a confirmation that there's too many things going on in my life, some of them that don't need to be, and that I need to slow down and relax and let life come to me instead of me pushing life like fire.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that has to do with, that's the mode I've had to operate in.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense for all of us. Yeah.
It's just like right now the situation has settled down. And I even had a connection with my higher self, which gave me the impression, and this was last week, that I can come down now and relax. And so this seems like it's in unison with what that other meditation was. And
I love that. I love that, Sue. That's just beautiful. Do you like Sue or Sue Ellen now?
I'm actually Sue Ellen. I'm Sue for the families. And
got it.
Okay. Called me Sue. Okay. I might not respond because I'm not used to it.
Yeah. But I'm going to just go back to your first share, because I think it's really helpful for many of us just to notice if there is in your life maybe something that the elements showed you that you want to let go of, or something you want to prioritize more. Sometimes the elements give us that kind of clarity, like, oh, air element shows up for me as too many things I want to do right now. It's not, I'm pushing myself in too many directions. Or it shows up as, oh, I haven't had that motivation to take action. I want that fire. So just notice if there's any kind of stirring in, this is for everyone. But Sue Ellen reminded me of the way the elements can kind of nudge us into a greater balance. I like to think of the elements as always working to give us more balance. And my years practicing and studying Ayurveda, my fascination with Ayurveda began in my gosh, it's been a long time now. It's been 30 years. I think I read my first book on Ayurveda at age 22. And then I started studying it, and I eventually by 30 got a degree in it. And it's just been for me this lifelong friend that the elements are saying, you can have balance. We can all have balance. The earth is in balance. And it's always here, that balance. So sometimes there's, like I can feel a little extra fire in my system right now and a little extra air. And that's my tendency. But I can invite water. I can invite grounding. I can invite space. So I think that's this. If I were to say of like all the meditations we do here in Meditation Group, this is a good one for people to like bring into their life maybe once a month. Like choose one day a month that in your own way, you'll connect with the elements. It could be through one of these guided meditations. It could be through someone else's. I love the Tenzin Wangyal meditation with the elements. He has different versions of it. I don't have a link to a particular one. It's different than the way I do it, but I really enjoy his. So this is something, it's a kind of form of healing. Yeah.
What was that name?
I'll let Jeremy spell it in the chat because I will not spell it correctly. Okay. All right, thank you, Sue Ellen. I'm going to jump to Elizabeth and then to Sandra. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you?
Hi, I'm well, thank you.
Great.
One thing that really struck me during the meditation, especially speaking of air, because where I am here in Colorado, we're having a particularly breezy day today. And I really identified with the air element and what's been going on with me personally. It just feels like there's been a lot of upheaval, and mentioning, a lot of fire and air. And also connecting that with, we're in a changing of seasons, and really feeling the spring element starting to emerge in our environment, and feeling that in my own being right now, and feeling the wind element kind of stirring up. I tend to be more of a grounded earth person. And I feel like my life has just become very dusty because all the air is stirring things up. So normally that's very unsettling to me, but this helped me kind of sit with it and just recognize that sometimes these outer forces will play into our lives in ways that we don't necessarily expect, but we have to kind of embrace them and just sit with them.
That is so beautiful. Such a good reminder. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And such a good reminder about spring too, one way of looking at it is that winter is a time of more, Ayurvedically, it's more water and earth, and spring is that time of fire and air being stirred up.
Yeah.
And so naturally we have those, that changeability with spring, and also with fall. I find fall is such a time for space and air. And living in California, I miss the seasons and how they play with us really in a beautiful way. But I can be reminded of spring too. So thank you for that reminder, Elizabeth. And sometimes having a time of day like sunset or sunrise, where that's the time that you notice nature. You just notice, oh, the sun is going down now. I can take a minute to appreciate that I am part of nature. And maybe this is my time for winding down. Maybe it's something else. It's just a moment of pause. But that sunrise or sunset, I'm more likely to notice sunrise. Some people are more likely to notice sunset. So it's good to have that reminder for yourself. And Sandra, hi.
Hi, Magali. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm like, oh my gosh. Every time I'm overwhelmed, because when I come on here, it's like you came at the right time. Saving grace.
Well, it's always good to see you again.
I know, you know what, and this is gonna take you back to when I was doing boot camp, because it was Sue Ellen who actually, when she shared, she said something that allowed me to like connect with, you know, where I am right now, what just happened. I just, and so it's like saving grace, because I realized my whole chest, even right now as I speak, I mean, I think I just have so much fire. Like that's where I've always lived. And, you know, that sense of fire, wanting to serve, wanting to create and serve a need and rescue people from like wherever they are, no matter what it costs me. And I actually just came off a month and a half event tied in with International Women's Day, which has left me depleted in every which way. Like it just physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, morally, because I'm dealing with all this, what showed up. And so I'm trying to stay very zen in the middle, kind of like saying, okay, how do I learn from this? You know, how am I seeing that people react? Who do I be in this? But ultimately what it did is it allowed me to see my target market, like who am I here to serve? And when you mentioned, you know, people who are, I think it's on fire or on air, I'm not sure, that we have the sense of wanting to serve. So for me, I'm looking at it like saying, you know, how do I reconcile all this just so that I don't feel guilty with the fact that I'm being shown that I need to serve at a different level than who I've always found an identity, like I'm here to save the world. So, you know, I just feel so much right here, right now, like a lot of fire. But I feel that it's off because I'm almost like, I can't even talk like right now. So this just came out of this. So I'm kind of like, oh, it's the right time to ask Magali, because she knows what to say.
Yeah. Well, I think it's always the same old question, you know, how about you? How do you give to yourself what you want to give to others? Don't you think? I don't know.
You can't give what you don't have. And I know that in order to give is like one of the visuals that I saw was letting the dove fly. So that's how I think air moved for me. You know, and I feel them all. I'm a very intense feeler, and this one did me in. Like I can't go to that extreme. Like now I need to remain in that place where I can still help without drowning in whatever it is that I'm trying to help, you know, remove. Like I need to be, like you said, I need to be like a doctor can't get sick in order to help. A doctor needs to remain healthy in order to serve.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And so that pacing, so that's a pretty common problem when we have that deep passion to be of service, is how do we pace ourselves, right? So what are the habits that support that pacing so that you can be there until you're 100 serving, you know?
Yeah, because I burnt out. I mean, this burnt me out. Like I said, it's been a week since I've been trying to just, you know, just deal with everything and just focus and just come. That's why when I saw this, I'm like, oh, I gotta get on. So
I'm so glad you did.
Yeah. So right now it's kind of like, I guess my question for you would be just, how do I see, because I recognize I'm very much about fire and I'm very much about air. And I think that right now I was burning it in all angles, trying to do everything, trying to solve everything, trying to project everything because of the ultimate goal. And the ultimate goal did come out, but the people that I was working with, you know, are the ones that really created this exchange that wasn't really healthy. Had we been together on it, then it would have been a different outcome. But that, I think that's where the hurt most lies, just because it's the same people you were working with. So, you know, how do I right now what should I focus on? Is it just like recognizing which is out of balance, or trying to get them all in place, or what?
So is this the question about you or about other people?
No, about me and the elements within me, how I perceive
the
things
elements within you, right? So so the grounding quality of earth and the comfort and ease of water would help harmonize the fire and air that have been kind of made bigger. And, you know, air blows on fire and makes it bigger. So those two in combination, which I can relate to, I have both of those two often in excess, stir things up. And they're beautiful. They're beautiful messengers of change, right? They're wonderful, but they just knowing when it's getting too big, and then what do you do? Maybe just every day for 20 minutes to ground your energy, and also to maybe differentiate your own energy, your own stability in yourself and the mission you have. So because I know that it's so hard to put this into words. There's this wonderful spiritual quality of being in unity. So I am the world. If the world is suffering, I am suffering. I have to give my life flow to others so they can be lifted up. Like, that is a really incredible spiritual quality. Yet it can obviously burn out the individual. Mm-hmm. So how to be with that on the one hand as a beautiful spiritual quality, and the quality of I'm also this person, this human being that needs my own people I go to for emotional support, needs my own habits that give my body ease and health. You know, what are those habits? What are those practices? So you make sure you're doing them every day. Okay. It makes sense. Yeah. I mean, it can be as simple as like taking a hot bath every day.
Yeah. Or a cold bath.
Or maybe not if you've got too much fire, but you know, or like burying your feet in the ground for a few minutes, walking, whatever it is that brings you into that caring for yourself. And then when you're in those communities of service, whether it's with other leaders or with youth or with your church, never forgetting that your human beingness also matters. Yeah. Because I know you're such an expanded person to, you know, to give, but that is, I know, like for me, it came very in my face in a dream where I found myself in my dream just bleeding for someone. And I didn't care. I was just like, okay, you can just bad. And I remember telling, you know, a healer about that. And they're like, yeah, it's not a good thing to want to just literally give all of your blood to
someone. I mean, no, I totally, everything you said just made so much sense, because like on Saturday I went 6 a.m, it was raining. I went into the forest, into the woods, and I felt that, you know, that sense, like even while we were doing this exercise, for me, I saw every element, how it plays, like kind of archetype. And I could see where it is in my body and where it is outside. So it manifested through like a raindrop, like a shower of scintillating, you know, and the water before me was just like this, like the roaring ocean coming and just breaking in front of me and giving me all the ions. And then I'm drinking my water, but I'm still like, I'm so hot in here. Like, I'm like, I have this fire right now. Since Sue Ellen spoke about it, it just came and it got me. So I'm like, I need to let it out. So no, it makes so much sense, but thank you.
Absolutely. You know, when we meditate, and this is for everybody, when we meditate, whether it's prayer or meditation, and we enter into a state where, so this is kind of the opposite being true of what I just said, but when we enter into a state of stillness and unity, where our separate ego kind of is not in our face for a little while, we're meditating or we're praying, and we've sort of become very transparent. So we enter into more of a universal state, or you could say a connection with God. It depends on one's belief system, but it can just feel like that expanded quality of letting something greater than us kind of hold us, or it can feel like an expanded quality of merging with all elements. This is so deeply nourishing. This is the most nourishment, I think, at the soul level we can do for ourselves. So, you know, I guess this is why I started this meditation group. My reason for sharing meditation is so more people can start their own personal practice where they really look forward to this deep benefit of stillness and expansion that comes with many different forms of meditation. And again, I'm being called to say, and silent meditation. The joy of silent meditation, which I know I don't guide silent meditation because we're here in Zoom, but I really encourage people to try it, even just 5 minutes a day of silence.
Yeah, and what I'll say, Magali, just to what you said right now, this is the last thing I'll get up. I also noticed something. I was doing for a whole year kickbox like a class, and I stopped it right before, and that was a way that I used to get out a lot of my fire. So during this time that I was involved in this, all I was doing was doing all the work. It's, you know, but also working with the relationships and the egos and the trauma and all these things within that space, and doing the actual work where my body was now being depleted and I wasn't letting go of all that stuff. So right now it's like the outside of realizing the meditational part is the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, but then also the physical. Like I see men, you know, you have to also have that balance, which is the inside and outside. So I think that's what I also need
reminder.
To do. I could feel this in here, like churning. I'm like, I gotta get out.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Absolutely. And you know, some people will also process that healthy fire or the unhealthy fire through an art project or singing. So it might be physical. Any stress, it's helpful to do something physical. Like for every human being, I think it's helpful. But when fire especially is in excess, I know one way I deal with it when it's emotional fire is I draw. And like I'll even have a girlfriend say, you know, you haven't been drawing for the last month. You sure you don't want to start again? You're complaining a lot, Magali. And then I know, okay, yeah, I better take out my pens. So yeah, very cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see
Magali.
you. And Jeffrey, how are you, friend?
I'm wonderful. How are y'all?
Good.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My feet are happy. You know, I'm getting warm above my head. Everything's good. Meditation's great.
Oh, good, good. What stood out for you from that meditation? Did anything stand out in particular?
Yeah, my feet didn't hurt. Didn't have any pains. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. Do you think it's because what do you think's happening that relieves the pain? I'm just curious.
Well, I mean, I'm you know, we're doing this new the live coaching. So we're doing the training and the, you know, coaching with other people.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling better. I'm getting healthier.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Prospects are good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to have you in the training. You know, it's great. It's great knowing that you're in the coaching community as well as in the meditation. It's wonderful. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. You know, I had a kind of question at the end of this meditation. This isn't something I normally bring in. And if any of you guys are in group coach program or relationship or energy coach, all of them, we do elements as part of the coaching. And I brought in this sort of classical concept in this meditation, which is the idea of the connection between like an infant and the mother. And then I thought, as I was guiding that, I thought, oh, this could trigger some people who have had not the most easy relationship with parents, right? So I offered also that one could think of animals looking in that connection. But the reason for that, I wanted to give everyone the reason for that. It's that sort of innocence of an infant, the way they connect, and the deep caring of a parent connecting with an infant that is you know, totally helpless. And that kind of connection, I guess, just inviting that in ourselves. So it's not about, did I have it? Did I give it? None of that. It's just about that kind of, that moment of connection that you just imagine an infant looking up into the mother's face and the mother's face looking at the infant. And it's that kind of love that is a form of connection that I think when we bring it into this idea of the elements connects them within us. But it's a very classical sort of loving kindness part of what's called metta meditation in Buddhism, which is a loving kindness practice. And I don't know, I've never suggested that before. So I was curious how that sat with people. I mean, I don't know why you reminded me of that, Jeffrey.
I'm kindness. Be good.
Your kindness.
Yeah. Be good, do good. You know.
I love that.
That's it.
Yes. Beautiful.
So.
Yeah. All right. Well, so good to have you here and have everybody here. Let's all go to gallery view.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. And let's just all take a minute to really appreciate each other. I'm starting to really recognize people's backdrops. Like I always look at that. I look at everyone's backdrops when I get to, as well as your faces. So good to be here with you. And I look forward to next week, or some of you, before then. So we will talk soon. Be well, everybody. And I'm looking forward to connecting everyone together soon in one of the meditations for small private chats. I think that's important too. All right, be well. Take care. Talk soon.